Okay, so after journalism versus PR, marketing versus PR, I think the other side of story, other side of 200 clips. When I was much younger, and that was eons of years back, and I was suitable boy in a Punjabi household to get married, people used to ask my father, "Munda ki karda hai? What does your son do?" And my father could never tell them. So he would call me, "Tanudeep, batao uncle aap kya karte ho?" Right? So I think PR unfortunately has been like that, but that was again, as I said, years of years back. And I'm sure most of us here have gone through that. So just from a point of view of putting it out there, who all agree on marketing taking precedence over PR ever? Hands up in the air. You get 2 drinks free. And who are here on the side of PR? Oh, wonderful. Can I, for the sake of having fun, request the marketing guys to move one side and the PR guys to move one side? Please. Yeah, whichever way. The marketing can move this side. Yeah, which is actually for the motion. And the PR can be this side, which is against the motion. Come on, guys, be a sport. We have just this session to go. Come on. Lovely. Such a gracious audience. Thank you so much. Anybody else on the marketing side, please? Wonderful.
I think. I,
Audience.
are you sure that they have to stay in the room?
Okay, guys. I would not keep it away too much. I'm quickly going to do introductions. Obviously, on the for the motion, we have Dr. Ashish Kaur. He's the CMO for Hero Reality. Over 30 years of experience, being a marketing maven, business lead, and best-selling author. Wonderful. So he's here with us. Please a round of applause for Dr. Ashish Kaur. We have Mr. Sanjeev Handa. He's Senior Vice President and Head of PR and Comms for Maruti Suzuki. From being an out-and-out advertising professional to a sales guy and now to PR head.
PR guy speaking in favor of marketing tonight.
I think your tenure is playing there. Lovely. And then we have the wonderful Shan Jain, founder and CEO of Bridge to Ocean 29. Now what she's doing very interesting stuff. She's helping startups scale from just being application or technology-based companies to marketing-based companies, right? So clearly for the motion here. So round of applause for Shan, please. And on my left, weighing 200, no, sorry, on my left is Neeta. Neeta has been in out and out PR professional, heading agency to being, hold your breath, 17 years in LG Electronics. Guys, that really deserves a round of applause. Wonderful. Then we have Jaswita. Had the pleasure of working with her. Over 20 plus 2 decades of experience in everything that she's done, brand management, marketing, digital marketing, Corpcom and PR. And a seasoned healthcare and hospitality expert. Jaswita, thank you for being here. And last but not the least, 2 people who've been kind of nurtured with the same mitti from erstwhile IPAN, Abhi Mahapatra and myself. So Abhi has since then grown to lead comms of some of the biggest names in auto industry, Hyundai, Nissan, Ford in Shanghai, and now he's at Amazon. So guys, thank you so much for being here, and we have promised to make this session as fantastic as the ones before. And to just kickstart that, we always talk about marketing, PR, and all that, but I think end of the day, they're all talking about brands, right? One probably is helping in brand love, and one probably helping in brand trust. So maybe I want to start with you, Sanjeev sir. Do you think that's a statement to make? Marketing is more for brand love and PR is more for brand trust?
I was told that I'm going to start and there's going to be cutting of jugular veins out there. So I don't think I'm going to be into that dissection mode right now. Let me start with brand love, like you said. Yes, very truly, brand love is really a marketing strategy. I'm talking definition right now. There's marketing strategy, and I'm using the word specifically marketing strategy out there, of converting brand loyalists, people who are loyal to a brand, into advocates or influencers or key opinion leaders or whatever you call it. That's brand love. Now, why would you want to say marketing is important? It's like a chicken and egg. I'm not saying PR came first or marketing came first. I've always heard word marketing and PR. But pehle marketing.
Oh, so it's not PR and marketing. Jashrita, you want to take that up? Talking about KOLs through brand love and marketing.
Let me just open this up. Firstly, we have a right representation of diversity, so at least PR is winning in this forum. I will just start with something that I've always believed, and I think Jeff Bezos, our founder, put that very correctly. He said somewhere that advertising and marketing is the price you pay for having a very unremarkable product and service. So I will let that sink in for some time.
Yeah, but did he sink in a lot of dollars in that?
We have never advertised actually. So we have believed in the power of PR. But just
I
to
think I saw an ad in the paper today, right on the front page.
sales. So
Wow.
sales. So with that, I think the topic that we have today, and this is what I believe fundamentally, is marketing, to me at least, and how we have seen over the years, is a sales function. And to club that with a comms function, which is PR-led, sometimes actually erodes a lot of place that PR actually can have in the sun. So the topic itself is never marketing and comms. It's about marketing and sales as a function, and PR, communications, and other things that we do, including internal, which builds stakeholder confidence, which builds brand love. You cannot have brand love without trust. You cannot build trust without reputation. You cannot have reputation without credibility. And all these things, when you go back to back, it all falls into PR.
Interesting point. Sorry. Interesting point is making there. Sales. Marketing function is sales.
No, marketing function. I want to take on a love and trust. It's like, let me say brand love is more like you want to woo a girlfriend. I'm sure you've done enough in a time. What comes first, trust or love?
Awareness.
Okay. No, I'm going to take it a step further. Abhi, you're really good at that. I'm going to take it a step further.
I'll just go there. Let me just
fine.
finish. So awareness and then intent,
Okay.
and then consideration.
Okay.
Whether she is the right
So
one.
awareness.
And then probably
awareness,
love.
awareness is the first word in AIDA in marketing. Awareness, interest, desire, and action. AIDA. You said it right. So I'm gonna take you on my side for that. But hear me out. I think the most important thing is actually customer centricity. That's the core of marketing. So building trust comes later. First is customer centricity. I think what you communicate through marketing or through PR or whatever is the second thing, that is what will build trust. So I think for me, I would want to rest with that love came first and trust.
Take a point here that since we're talking about trust and we're saying that PR does trust and marketing does love and so on and so forth. I feel just to go back to basics here, like all strategists, people like to put formulas into things. Trust actually has an equation on the basis of which it is built, and it is credibility plus reliability plus intimacy divided by self-orientation. So yeah. So if you go by that logic, then it's like obviously the kind of intimacy that you're building is only one part of it, which is what PR does. The rest of it is all what marketing does. So it is getting subsumed in marketing. I mean, it's a much larger role that marketing plays in promoting brands and in making them more acceptable by its audiences, which is actually the end job of any business existence today, right?
Actually, taking her point ahead, I'm sorry.
You're
Please
building
pardon
on
me
each
for
other's points. You're just
That's
building
okay.
on each
I'm
other's
adding. I'm
points.
adding to it. I'm adding to it.
It's not a brainstorming. It's
not a
debate.
brainstorming. I'm just saying. She said something about a science and equation. I think what came to my mind is very simply, and we learned it in PR, of course. It's called PESO model. But there also paid comes first. Owned comes in later.
Yeah.
I think we're getting into this chicken and egg story of what came first, what came later. Sometimes it's not all that. What came first, what came later. You spoke about brand love and brand trust, and you took this whole dating example. Well, I love my husband, I trusted him enough to marry him. Well, it's not like what happened earlier, later, etc. I love the condominium that I love in. I trusted it enough that it'll be safe for me, so I moved in there. So I think the point that we are making here is that which out of marketing or PR serves that purpose better. Now, here Shan just spoke about a very heavy formula. I'm still reeling under it, and I don't know how to sort of measure it. But I also have something. What are the brand trust components? If you were to just break it down and keep it simple. Brand trust components are customer satisfaction. And customer satisfaction, how do you measure it through advertising or marketing? Please tell me. For that, you need to have experience on ground, and that you gauge through comms and PR. The second is brand image, and I give it to you guys. You guys have some role to play here. We guys have some role to play here. We can agree, right? The third is the competitor comparisons. Again, where the role of comms and PR comes in. And the fourth is your overall opinion or experience that comes in. Again, where PR and comms has a role to play, right? So if you were to then do what's the lead and what's the support, who's doing the heavy lifting, you'll realize that marketing has some role to play. We see that. We're both sides of the same coin, but the heavy lifting is done by comms and PR.
Okay, great point. One last point on that one. Since the equation wasn't very what did you say? It was heavy.
I'm reeling under it.
Yes, but let me tell you, when we talk about the various components of it, first being credibility, then being reliability. Credibility is about the brand's ability to do what it is doing. Marketing can only communicate that. Reliability is that it does what it does time and time again. Okay, that again is a function of how you reach out to your consumers. Intimacy is about how I am consumer centric, and self-orientation, of course, is like, if I'm only about myself or am I about the customer in the market, right? So to each of these components, it's all measurable, and marketing over the years has made itself measurable to the extent that it can deliver these results. Okay? So it's not like something that one can just say how does it happen, or is there a way, or are we who knows what is happening? No. Whereas today, so on till now, I haven't heard of any mechanism by which you can measure the inputs that we are at.
Okay, we'll come to the measurement part of it. I'm just going to get in more thoughts. Dr. Kaul, we are talking about this, right? And we are talking about it from a point of love, trust, and awareness. And I think you've somebody who's worked at B2C kind of clients and B2B kind of clients. So it doesn't matter in terms of if you are a consumer-facing brand or you're not a consumer-facing brand. Does brand trust or brand love be measured according to that?
Yes, of course. I think that is what Sanjeev was also mentioning. It is mostly, it is about creation of a business and then taking it to its consumer. Whichever tool you think is best, that suits, that's how it should be. However, I think taking a step back, the question still remains, why is it that there is a divide? I mean, all through my career, I think the highest paid member of my team is a PR guy. I think he should be somewhere here. In fact, he should be fronting the debate. I don't know why I'm doing this, but...
Are you accepting job applications? I think some would be.
Yeah.
Then he would be on this side, right?
So, well, I really do not know where I am, having handled PR, having handled the marketing function, being the CEO of some of the largest brands in the world. I think the problem with what the debate is that the conversations about public relations, so to say, has dramatically changed. I've been around for 31 years, so I've seen that change for PR from the time that it was known as a profession of drifters. You would find all sorts of people. I've met engineers and even dentists into public relations, and that was the time. And mostly it was always crowded by, to some extent, advertising people, then probably by journalists, because the whole idea was if you get a journalist, he will know the press, and therefore it will be easier for you to sort of place your story there. But somehow, the question that has always been missed and that has always worried me as a professional is, while the conversations have become smarter, people have become smarter, the designations have become swankier, but the deliverable hasn't. And as a business leader, what would worry me the most is I would put my money where the person gives me the confidence that he is in command of the message and he controls the entire value chain. Now, having been on the both sides, what I've seen is that, ultimately the conversation behind that smarter conversation, what do? You just happy being a postman. I have no other word. I don't need to have a politer word for that. But I think, ultimately, no matter what the conversation is, the smarter the conversation, but you go back and you find there is no innovation. Probably I would not need more than a finger to sort of trust the kind of people that I've met over the last 31 years who inspire confidence, who say I will innovate, who will not come back and say they got stonewalled by a publication and they got stonewalled by a journalist. I hear those conversations all the time. I mean, in 31 years, I've heard this conversation 3,000 times. Even in the pitches, the funny part is just about, I think, about a year and a half back, I was in a pitch and there was a very swanky agency. Ultimately, they said, you should give us the business because I wine and dine with everybody. So, even after 31 years of having led organizations like Z, where I was the group president, even I would hesitate in saying that. But that is the truth of it. While, again, the conversations have become smarter, people have become smarter, the entire package has become smarter, the innovation hasn't become smarter. It doesn't give me confidence.
Wonderful point. I think he mentioned about the fact that it's only about that column inches or square centimeter or whatever space, and there's no innovation, guys.
I want to answer it. I'll take a very simple example. So yesterday I was in a supermarket and I wanted to pick up a spice brand, and I'm sorry I could not pick it up because of the recent fiasco what you would have read. And let me tell you, a full-page advertisement is not going to give me the confidence to pick it up. Probably a postman, yes sir, a postman, who is going to do a story saying that somebody has done a factory tour, somebody has checked the quality process, and a third-party endorsement that yes, it is safe to go, that is going to give me the confidence to pick it up. So, to say that PR is building credibility, reputation, brand trust, or marketing, I think the question itself is invalid, because PR is the backbone to build credibility. And similarly, I'm sure you must have seen recent articles from ICMR. So ICMR has got a very, very active PR manager, and daily they are telling you that what vegetables you are eating, you should avoid tea after food, like that. So that's such a credibility, because that's not a YouTuber and it's a fake news, but it's a credible source. So if we are talking about that, PR is just a postman, I think somebody is not getting the facts right for sure.
I'm just going to add that, add to what he's saying. Sometimes I do agree that we are insights rich and data poor. PR is. I have to accept that. But the data around what goes around, what customers feel, paint a very different story. And I'm not quoting these data as per whims and fancies. These are data by Ogilvy, I think, which is a credible advertising marketing agency. Nielsen. 90% of customers are influenced by PR over advertising or marketing, as per Nielsen's recent study. So it's a fact. 76% of customers who trade or interact on social media believe organic and barter influencer posts than paid for. I'm going to share a few more. 96% of B2B wholesale buyers trust sources which are third-party trade and association based rather than advertising. So the postman is somewhere delivering something, so otherwise the data will not work and the trends will not show.
Okay. I had 2 points there. I'm coming to you. I had 2 points there. One is about credibility, right? When shit hits the roof, what are you going to do? And the other he's making about is perhaps that some of those points are driving sales. What do you have to say?
Before the shit hits the ceiling, like you rightly said, or, she chose that masala brand and then read the paper and decided not to go and buy it, but somewhere in the mind, the awareness or your subconscious, the message had been said that XXX masala डालेंगे तो masala से अच्छा बनेगा. But you had gone to buy that, but then you read the paper and said no, but I don't want to buy it. Okay, fine, point taken. Credibility is built by PR, but we are coming back to the first thing. More than the trust, it's a love. First thing which has the consumer go to your thing. Well, it's a McDonald's brand. It says, I'm loving it. But what made them loving it? Was it the newspaper PR? I don't think so. It was the brand love, which was created first. To your data, I think your data points are perfect, and I want to acknowledge that they were the right data points. But I'm also saying, today, PR and marketing, you have that gray shades, the shades of gray. I'm not saying 40, 50, 60, 100 shades of gray, where paid PR is being read by consumers as making up their opinion. How many times did you actually read? We just heard the last session. Did the journalist say, I will write what you give me to write? No, never. I've been sending a lot of press releases myself. How many times did I see the headline that we have done is actually the headline that comes in the paper? Never. But then how does the consumer really get involved with your brand? It's through marketing.
Interesting point, and I'm raising that.
And
as-
I just want to answer,
Yeah.
just Reed's point.
Jasmita.
About the point about customer satisfaction, how do you measure it? I think the biggest customer satisfaction measurement is actually the proof in the pudding is when you get the consumer to go and buy the product. It's the call to action in the advertising, which says, so-and-so brand available at this store, please go and pick it up. That's the biggest thing. Please, over to you.
I actually want to add one more example. I've been around for a very, very long time in this advertising marketing industry, and there were the times when Lifebuoy was being launched by Unilever in India. And the ethos behind the launch of Lifebuoy was that actually they were touching upon sanitization. So let me just go back to basics. The role of any business is to do good for the consumer, but it's also, when they do good, they also want to get the support of the government, right? Otherwise, how it is, you'll face a lot of issues with the government also. So Lifebuoy, while the role of the, obviously Unilever is a business, right? They wanted to sell soaps, and Lifebuoy was antiseptic soap. But they chose sanitization as the route and built the brand for that. Now this brand building was a marketing job while solving for a real problem. So it is about customer acceptance, and so even though they were really handling a very, very deep insight in India, yet the brand was built by marketing, and by marketing the benefit of the brand.
Okay, very interesting. That's blurry lines, by the way, guys.
I
Just
know.
putting it to you.
I just want to ask, not ask, but at least table a provocative kind of question, especially for my friends on the other side. There are industries and there are brands where you cannot advertise, and you cannot do marketing. And let's say tobacco is one of them. You naturally depend on a lot of other things to communicate. But nobody can communicate that tobacco smoking is good for health or smoking is good for health, right? If you die, and this is a case study, if you die 100 years back, and there's a classic Burmese case study where marketing, they had the dollars for marketing, there was no ban on advertising, but they chose PR to actually drive favorability for smoking. When they started in New York, when women came across in March Past to talk about torches of freedom and the right to smoke. I think there is a lot of learning from there where not every time you will have the right channels for marketing to drive. And customer trust or love otherwise has to be built through very credible kind of channels.
No point taken, but what you remember is the Marlboro guy. Whatever you say. Or you
Yeah.
remember the Camel brand.
Yeah.
I would
Or
actually,
Navica.
I agree with you, but
How many people remember the 100-year-old story? I'm not a smoker. Honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't. I'll take that as a chapter with me.
I will also agree with that. I agree with you, but I would remember second-hand smoke skills on Marlboro more than the Marlboro man.
I think if
Yeah, that's a government regulation.
So then, sorry.
Sanjeev, if you're standing on the side of marketing, then you also have to talk about what are the brand associations and what are the attributes. Okay, maybe you remember the Marlboro man, but today, in today's woke age, not today, maybe for the last decade or so, he is known and the product is known for all the wrong reasons. So I don't know if as a brand, I want to be known as all the wrong reasons and then need the help of us PR professionals to shake that tag off. Right?
Okay, first
But I
marketing
have
came
to-
first.
But when you spoke about the whole, the proof of the pudding is how many of those wares get sold off the shelf. Okay, guess what? In today's day and age, the brand is not what you're telling the consumer, what marketers and the messaging is telling the consumer in shiny ads. It's what One consumer is telling another what the brand is. And therefore, in strategic comms, today people are investing in online listening of what consumers in their chat rooms, in their online groups, closed user groups, etc., are talking about the brand. So guess what? If you were to do online listening before you come to your metric, you would know that there is this undercurrent and there is this subtext which will lead to your brand not being sold off the shelves, and you'll be able to pick it up if you were smart enough as communicators and not,
And the
the
data
tired
point
soups
is-
of
No denying it at all. No denying it at all.
Just a data point to support that, again, Nielsen, I think 88% of familiarity is driven by non-branded content, including advertising, than branded. So people don't trust actually a lot of content that comes as advertising.
But I also want to draw the attention to 9 minutes there. So I think
No,
there
no,
are
no,
more
no.
I think
No,
there
I
are-
want to. I want to. Sorry, I'm the
Don't we have
moderator,
more
guys.
things to
Don't
discuss?
forget. I want to talk about. There were two interesting points that came up. One was issue-based PR/marketing, right? Sean talked about sanitation. Abhi talked about smoking. So where does that fall actually? When you're taking that sanitation, when Lifebuoy is talking about sanitation, is that marketing or that's PR?
that's gone. That's
Brand was
totally gone.
built by marketing. The brand was built on the basis of marketing. I mean, they continuously forget about the 30 years ago. Even the 2014 Kumbh Mela, that's also where they were again doing marketing and brand building as opposed to any of PR. And of course, it goes viral on the basis of that. So
We're in
there's-
the election. We're in the election phases.
Yeah.
Even today's events that are happening, how much is being spent on advertising and brand is the question, and how much is being spent on PR is the other.
I think
For Lifebuoy, if I remember, in fact, when IPEN came to our office for presentations, I think they did very, very aggressive PR at UL. They did very aggressive PR, world, hand washing day and sensitization sessions across schools, colleges. So to say that it is only built through marketing would be very, very wrong. I'm sure that you need a lot of PR also to build credibility, because only marketing hasn't built the Lifebuoy story.
So I totally agree with you. I'm not saying it is only built. What I'm trying to say is those events that you're talking about, the ground events, are events. They're not PR. They are events that actually get held where you're touching real consumers and you're making them feel the benefit of the brand. So those are actually part of marketing.
But what about PR?
PR also does event. This is an event. It's a PR event. PR
So-
also does
Okay,
events.
So just
not
a-
getting into that. Abhi, yeah, you have a point to make.
Yeah, I think one important aspect that we are ignoring in this discussion is the power of money behind it. So when you have a lot of dollars to spend and then you spray and pray, I think that is marketing. You will spray and you will pray. When you have very limited funds, when you have very limited resources, but you have to move the needle on perception, reputation, crisis. I'm sure, like, you come from automotive, I have had some stint in the automotive. If unfortunately there's an accident or a car catches fire, you will not put out an ad that my car is the safest car. You will not do that, right? But that is where PR comes very handy. I think I'm segueing to the next part of crisis and everything. But I think that is a very important area for us to also consider, that A, budgets, B, ideas, and C, the channels that we choose are across stakeholders. It's not about just the consumer. I don't know how much of a regulator or a policy guy, how much of a community guy, how much of a social responsibility programs that we run, how much of an employee really believes an ad. I don't know that. But do they believe the power of PR behind those campaigns? We see that results every day. So the example is very clear on this.
You know, Abhi,
Let's just-
you're
if
lucky.
I can take-
Abhi, you're lucky.
If I can take 1 minute.
I just want to answer his.
Yeah, that's okay. Let her take continue
No,
with
I can
her.
take 1 minute.
Yeah.
What is the life of a marketer? What keeps him or her awake at night? What's the next punchline? What's the next campaign? What can I do? Which is the
How
flavor
can I
of the
help my
season,
sales guy?
Right? How can I help
That's
them?
it.
And brand trust is not episodic. Brand trust does not have a flavor of the season. You cannot feed brand trust by saying, अब ये flavor of the season है तो मैंने आपको ये feed कर दिया. It's about lifetime value. Isn't that what we talk about? And lifetime value comes from lifetime engagement. The tropes which keep a marketeer alive, those cannot feed brand trust. Brand trust is best served, that purpose is best served by comms and PR.
LTV is a topic for a different day, different stage. We can speak about that for a long time. To answer your thing, Abhi, spray and pay and spray is a good one. I was wondering what I would say for PR. Actually, it's like send and pray. It comes tomorrow. That's the only thing. At least pay and spray is there, but send and pray is something which is very difficult.
The moment the storyline is sticky and you make the message sticky, you don't have to send it.
Yeah, but we spoke
know
about
that
Okay,
we
I think-
spoke about car accidents.
Yeah,
Please help
maybe
me on
not.
that.
Maybe you did not want to go into traditional literacy trade, but just because we have 4.5 some minutes left, is it right? Okay. Just coming back to it. So the theme of the whole day and sessions have been technology, AI, and so on and so forth, right? Now with the advent of the whole advancements that we are seeing, now there could be obviously there is a friend slash find that we may look at AI as both in peak marketing and PR. So is it time for collaboration? Is it time for one against other? Will AI replace one or the other will benefit? Just wanted to get your views on that.
Yeah, of course, it will always be, and I've been hearing this invigorating conversation, but I think the point still is being missed, which is that, when you take a product to the masses, to its consumers, you need to find which is the right vehicle. And every vehicle will have its challenges. We as, somebody as a custodian of marketing will have a challenge in terms of what is the most effective channel. And media people, traditionally people who liaise with the media, they have their own challenges. So you have to ideally find the right fitment. That is one. Two, the moment you find a right fitment, then you have to converse with the challenges that go with it. But I think the point still is being missed is where is the innovation? You see, when you traditionally, I do see this, wanting to be like a marketer from a traditional PR guy. He wants to be more like a marketer. He speaks like a marketer. But ultimately, my first question was, how do you do that? Then you will still need that event. Now, the point here is when it comes to credibility, nothing ever in the world can match the power of editorial. Now, can there be a debate on that? Absolutely no. Even anybody, I mean, it is granted that if I need that part, then then ads don't help.
Fully agree.
In doing that, what is it that is being contributed today? I think that space is dramatically shrinking. You still, even to that, there's a huge gray that is coming in terms of editorial, advertorial, ultimately money is being paid, this, that, you have to have an event. And ultimately you will have a newspaper that will tell you that, you guys are a big brand, if you want, press coverage, spend on an ad. Now, the point that I was trying to make is that no matter the route that you take, whether it is through a paid event, whether it is through an editorial, somebody, the business owner takes that decision, which is the best methodology for at that moment, just give me a minute, for that moment and for that product. When it comes to people like Sanjeev, they have a nightmare because ultimately they spend the whole money. That part of the editorial is definitely not in control because you don't own media at the end of the day. At the best, the only thing that you can do is influence a journalist. Now, in doing that, there is an exceptional talent and there is anybody else.
So just
that exceptional talent is missing.
Just taking that point up, guys. Ashish talks about the fact that it is just the innovation is just about an editorial. Is now with the whole digital tech AI world, is PR doing more? Is that something that you want to call it, Ashish?
I'll come in here and then you can build on that. I think it's a very, very traditional way for marketers to look at PR and saying, ये सिर्फ journalist को story pitch करते हैं और editorial.
If I may, sorry, I don't think it should be, the conversation cannot be like that because I thought that we are on the same team. So it is not that.
No, we are on different
No,
teams.
just give me. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm sorry.
just to be clear, we are for
Leave
the
me-
purpose of the debate, we
For
are
and
on
against,
different
but
teams.
no
You
worries.
can come on our side.
Hang on.
Let him clarify his comment. That's
You
okay.
can come on our side.
Hang on. What I'm saying is that is exactly where you're not getting it right. Because you're continuously defending your position, which you don't have to. You have your own value, which is beyond a debate. Where is the debate
You
in
know
what
what?
you do?
I'm team black, so I have to talk about I'm wearing black. You're team red, so you have to say you're red. It's as simple as that. You can't say you're both
Okay,
wearing red and black. For the purpose of the debate.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
now coming in here, just if I can make my point, my original
Absolutely,
point.
absolutely.
This was the side point. Okay, the point is, communications in PR does more than pitch a story to a journalist and to use the adage saying अब जितना journalist को समझ में आया है वो कर देगा और editorial के अंदर. There is something called off the record meetings. There's something called relationship building meetings with editors. There's something called editorial roundtables. There is something called podcasts that you do with a journalist sitting in as a moderator. There's lots that you can do where you have greater control over the content. You can never have full control over the content because if you have full control over the content, then you're North Korea, then you're China, then you're state-controlled, news which nobody believes. So there is that sweet spot where you want to have greater control than you would earlier have, but at the same time have credibility. So there's all of that PR and comms does, rather than just an editorial for which the space is shrinking. That's my limited point.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think I'm not going to repeat, for the interest of time, what Mr. has already mentioned. I think just sticking to the question or the point that Arun had earlier alluded to, technology and AI in driving innovation for us. Look, I think most of us in this room are from the age where we've written postcards to our families and now taking help of ChatGPT to probably fine-tune some of our writing, right? And I'm being very candid here. At the end of the day, whether we are writing that postcard or whether we are punching that message or the topic for ChatGPT, the decision and the input will always be human. Technology can be an enabler, but it will never triumph us, is what I think is there. And that's the role of both a marketer and a PR guy or whosoever, or also a sales guy. At the end of the day, whether it will lend its credibility to the brand, I confidently feel PR has an edge there. Whether it will lend its trust and love for the brand, reputation for the brand, PR has an edge there. And of course, we cannot survive without marketing because that is where the awareness funnel comes in. But to build intent, to build consideration, I think we are very much needed.
Adding to what Abhi has said, so taking the example of our company, of course we have huge marketing budgets for categories which are like refrigerator or a television. But we also have categories which are only driving sales basis PR and social media. That's the credibility of this medium because what you're writing, there are people who are reading about it and there are leads getting generated. And there are many businesses which are only running basis PR and social media. So of course, this is very, very important for certain businesses. And if the question is that can only PR drive sales, well in some verticals, it can, definitely.
Definitely social media comes under marketing.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Okay, we're getting heated up.
Disagree.
No, I
The
think-
moment you write about your brand by yourself, you're on marketing.
Disagree.
No,
Yeah, it's paid. It's paid.
it's paid marketing.
Influencers
The
are
moment
paid.
you're writing about your brand yourself, it's marketing. It's not PR
It is
anymore.
marketing.
Moderating the content that comes on your post, online reputation, management online, listening, all of that.
I think-
comes
I
under
think
Agree. All those
But
are
it
tools
is
for
paid.
marketing.
It is paid.
I'm going to volunteer for a one-on-one PR series. Everybody here to educate and
Just
make
imagine
them
now
aware.
that it's
So
come to
whoever
that,
is
huh?
No, I think Abhi, let's do it together.
Yeah, let's do that.
No,
In
interesting.
fact,
Lovely.
I just want to.
I just want to make a
please-
point here.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
We
I
are.
just
Go ahead.
Please do.
Or we are, listen, at the end of the day, what are we talking about?
Okay, Shan, please go ahead.
So I'm just saying, look, I just want to say, look, what are we talking about? PR, marketing, this, that, whatever. All of it is supposed to support businesses. Agree? There's no debate on that. Today's businesses are not built to last. Let's just face it. We are in today's era. We are building businesses for quarter-on-quarter valuation. Yes. And
No.
A lot of the room here might not agree to that, by the way.
sorry. No, don't agree. Don't agree. You can't. No, not necessarily.
No, are you
The
telling
point
me?
is
Sorry to
that-
interrupt. Are you telling me that we are building brands to last for one
One
quarter?
minute, let me just complete the point.
Okay, let
Every
everyone.
quarter on quarter, there is pressure on everyone to measure their success based on what they are performing, right? If you do not perform, there is a whole lot of pressure from your investors and they will bring you down, and sometimes it does, deter you from doing the right thing. So what is going to play the role for you to do well? Marketing. It cannot be just PR. It is about how you communicate, what you do, all of that stuff.
No, probably I disagree vehemently around some of the points here, but I'll give you an example. I think India has the third or fourth largest startups in the world today, right? How many of these startups actually can afford marketing or do marketing? They go by PR as the first rule of the book.
I come from one
And,
thing we can't
and
afford.
that is to build long-term credibility with investors to actually drive businesses. And once they
No,
get
most
the
of them are
funding,
posting. Most of them are posting on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and LinkedIn is a paid medium. It's a
Medium,
paid
exactly.
marketing medium.
Everybody who
I-
is, I support startups, by the way, who are.
but they are not able to afford marketing. Right? They
No,
don't do
I do
advertising.
I do a session with GeoGen Next, which are bootstrap startups, and I tell them 6 ways of how you can market yourself without spending a penny. Okay, so there is marketing involved in that, and whatever you do on LinkedIn is also marketing. It's not PR.
Okay, great. I think that's a very interesting topic, but we will take it later. The talk has been reset twice for us. Thank you. One last thing that I want to put it to everybody here. For marketing, what is that one thing that you would want PR guys to do for you, and for PR guys, what is that one thing that the marketing guys should
Listen to
understand?
us.
Just
Listen to us. Listen to us.
Innovation. I can say that innovation has been, innovation is very important. I think PR guys need to spend a lot of time in understanding the newspapers, the very bakers. There is tremendous learning to be had there. Like, one has consumer insights. There is tremendous scope for consumer insights in terms of editorial coverage as well. Who can do what, where it can go. I still, see a gap that, people do not spend that time in understanding the medium. It is always, as Sanjeev said, song and prayer. But there is tremendous scope in terms of innovating. Of course, there would be a lot of pressure, but innovation is still the key. Going beyond knowing a journalist, understanding why it would. Ultimately, what does the journalist want? I believe a journalist wants his byline. If you are able to look at it from that perspective, the job is done. But that is something that people aren't able to do.
Yep. I'm looking at the talk right now. More for the closing thing, and for my friends on the PR side, marketing really. I come from an automobile company, so for me, marketing is more like an engine that drives awareness and desire, and we all agree to that. While PR is actually the steering wheel, which guides the brand's narrative and reputation. I'm not denying that. So, like a well-tuned car, which is what we're supposed to be, a brand needs both powerful engines to be there. And therefore, as a closing, statement, I want to make a very clear thing. Whether the debate was whether marketing or it's a PR thing, I think we are both, rightly said, two sides of the same coin. It's just that both are integral components to successful brand strategy and playing a distinct yet contemporary role. That's a few words.
Great, thank you. Sean, quickly.
2 things I want to
Mike, please.
One is that I think it talks about the why am I in business a lot. So respect to that. But what marketing does is what's in it for the consumer. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. But you know what? Give me 30 seconds more. I saw this beautiful ad in the newspaper today, and I want to read it out to you as a power of branding and marketing. So there's a teacher. He asked the student, "What is India Gate?" Student says, "Basmati rice." Teacher says, "Charminar kya hai?" He says, "Cigarette." Teacher says, "Taj Mahal kya hai?" He says, "Chai." So teacher gets, "You stupid boy, you have made a joke out of all of this. जाओ कल अपने डैड का सिग्नेचर लेके आना." तो अगले दिन स्टूडेंट आके उसके सामने एक अच्छा सा बॉक्स रख देता है. He says ये क्या है? He says आपने कहा था सिग्नेचर लेके आना, मैं पूरी बोतल लेके आ गया. अब क्या है ये मार्केटिंग?
Wonderful. Thank you, Shan, for that. Guys, one thing. Come on, it's okay. What would you want marketing to do more better of?
Just two things from my side. I think marketing needs to understand that it's public relations, not media relations. Number one. That's a very important point. Second thing is just alluding to Sanjeev's point. I think it's an excellent example, Sanjeev, in terms of marketing with the engine. But I would like to add on to that. PR is not just the steering wheel. PR is also the brake. PR is also the light. PR is also the accelerator. PR is also the transmission. PR is also the chassis. PR is also the roof and the sunroof and everything around it. So
Let's keep marketing as a driver.
No, let him speak. Let him
Come on, you take it.
Let him speak. Go on.
So I think those are the two things. And the last thing I would definitely say this. I think there's this false notion about being a brand custodian doesn't make you a brand owner alone. Being a brand custodian truly reflects that you need to partner more and collaborate more. Sometimes we see this on the marketing side that they know it all. Idea can come from anywhere. And being a true marketer means that you should be open to ideas from anywhere.
Wonderful. Jasita, just last words.
Yeah, 2 points to fellow marketeers. First, stop asking for coverage only in HT and TOI. Okay, we are not HT and TOI, and ET managers. Thank you. And ET and HT, TOI, and
Sorry,
ET
who
managers.
was it to ask? Who was it to ask?
And E for M also. Jasita, please go on.
I keep getting interjected by my friend here. And the second point is that keep some money for your PR folks as well. Don't grudge us the money. Okay, I think
Wonderful.
these are 2 points.
Neeta, quick last words.
Usually the trope, no, that happens.
My point would be, as I said, respect. I have seen marketers who have 17 years, 18 years experience, and I ask them what is the full form of PR. They say press release. So please understand what PR does, and PR is way beyond press release. Now you can say so. Please understand us, include us in the entire process, and we will make the journey more beautiful and more productive.
Wonderful. I guess that kind of is time's up for us. Thank you everybody for being a great audience. Do I see people moving? The marketing hands that were up and moving, or have they left the chat? Nonetheless, but thank you all. You've been a great panel here. Loved it. Thank you everybody.